In Erickson's stages of development, the young adulthood, which is 19 to 40, is the stage with intimacy versus isolation. Success in this leads to having strong relationships, and failure results in loneliness and feeling isolated. When I was around 19 years old in college, I can distinctly remember it was my first time living in a apartment by myself, and I did have roommates. I think I had a little bit of trouble adjusting, and I know that I had a hard time forming good, solid, strong relationships with my roommates. During this time, I felt super lonely and kind of forgotten about. I can remember like sitting in my room thinking, I just wish I was back in high school with my friends from my hometown because I was just having a hard time connecting and building strong, loving relationships with my roommates, which I saw so many other people building and having like a sisterhood within their homes. Um, and that was a really big challenge for me. I think that if I saw a counselor at this time, they could give me a lot of coping skills and mechanisms to use to building those relationships. I think one thing they could help me do is look within myself and see, what are my strengths versus my weaknesses, because that plays a big role in relationships. I think something that they could have me do, an activity in session, would be to make a list of all the things that I find good about myself or find empowering that I bring to the table in a relationship with someone, whether it be a friendship or an intimate relationship. And another thing that I think would be a great thing to use in session would be if the counselor talked a little bit to me about what you look for in a good friend and a good relationship, because I think a lot of times, especially when I was 19, I didn't quite know what was the good or what I should be looking for qualities in another person to form a good relationship and a strong, loving relationship with them. I think that an activity that could be used is to make a list of, all the qualities that I had in friends from back home that drew me in and made me want to have a good, loving relationship with them, versus what is not working and what I'm feeling like why I'm kind of was closed off and not making those good intimate relationships, and then seeing how we can adjust them and work together to improve, to see, maybe those roommates have those qualities but I'm blocking myself off, and really open up to them and let them in so that I could have a really strong, loving relationship with them and not feel so alone and isolated. So that is Erickson's stage of young adulthood, intimacy versus isolation.